Huh? Uh-oh.
Extra points.
Question number 3. Please explain the dangers of living in the world, i.e. outside of a monastery or being a householder.
Oh, yeah.
Does this mean that we're safe if we live in a monastery? And for extra points, what previous idea contained in this book helps us completely turn this around?
Well, when you're outside of the monastery, you're exposed to gazillions upon gazillions of opportunities to break your vows. Maybe that was in Allison's text. Or is that here?
This was similar. Actually, Allison's and my texts have been connecting a lot lately, talking about very similar things.
Being a household, you got to take care of the darn house.
Right. And does this mean that we're safe in a monastery?
Well, the stakes are higher if you're living in a monastery.
Right.
So,
do you remember what was said? Sorry?
I don't remember what was said.
You could become a monk who just wants to like buy more stuff and take care of your house.
Yes. Yeah, he was talking about your residence, that whether you have a big house, a normal house, or your room in the monastery, you're not really a while back. Right? It's really cool. So I thought I would bring it back. No?
How long?
So it carried that it was talking about a residence and using your whatever place that you are, even if it's a big luxurious house, to turn it around and use it. It called it your Buddha headquarters. So always using it as a tool rather than something that you aspire. Okay. So vocabulary, Gilwa.
Is that supposed to be an A? Apostrophe G. Is it supposed to say contradictory?
It's a heavy load.
Oh.
Burden?
Yeah, trust imposed. Similar.
Oh.
Bun.
The bun, it means bun. The old Tibetan shamans.
Or both.
The old Tibetan shamans.
Yes, exactly. East Asia shamanic practices. And Kim Chem and King Chung.
Big house.
Right, but do you remember?
It's a normal family house and a room in a monastery.
Yes.
Like retreat photo.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Geshe. You're muted.
The last vocabulary word should be have an M, Kim. Okay.
Oh, right. Kim.
Just in case it goes into some kind of record somewhere. All right, here we go.
It will.
Sushi.
Okay. Sashi Puki Jukshin Meto Tram Virabling Ning De Genpadi Sangye Shingdu Mikte Uarki Drokunam Dakshin La Chuparsho Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami Sangye Chudang Soki Choknam La Yang Chu Bardu Dagni Kyapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Chuparsho Sangye Chudang Soki Choknam La Yang Chu Bardu Dakni Kyapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ola Penshir Sangye Druparsho Sangye Chudang Soki Choknam La Yang Chu Bardu Dakni Kyapsuchi Daki chunin gipe sunam ki drola penchir sangye drupar shok.
Yay!
Hey.
You look so handsome this morning. It's impossible to compete with you. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I have to share my screen. Okay, here we go. Let's leave the root text for later, okay? Oh, who's your checkers?
Venerable Palak, would you be able to do it?
I would and will.
Thank you. Okay. Shepani perna chung drowe namtang sum partar parjukpe njuk nge lana ngok lana mepani tampe che yin pala demi che part song ke pok sok dik tung tangeng ketu senengen songi kyu bashik chup patang.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, Perna Chudro Elam means he's defining a jungok. And those of you who studied the famous, what is the other famous jungok?
Entry point for the fortunate.
Yeah.
It's a commentary to the Bodhisattva Charyavatara. Gyaltsen J's commentary.
Yay, Gyaltsen J. I don't know who'd want to study Gyaltsen J. It's too hard. For example, a path for entering water, right? Or crossing a stream. And it's equivalent, sungba. And so the best entry point, and it means a shallow part of a stream where it's easy to ride a horse through the river because they didn't have bridges in Tibet until recently. Lanamepa means matchless. The matchless entry point is the Holy Dharma, Dambeche. But you don't practice it, Michepar. Rather, you commit yourself to Tsong Kepok. Tsong Kepok means doing business and trying to make money. Okay, Kepok means trying to make money, so etc. Diktung, you make bad deeds. Dik, tung, you break your vows. Tam Ngen Kid to say. You guys learned Kid to say recently.
I thought this means gossip, the whole thing.
No.
Ignoring
Kid
or
to say, you had it.
blowing off that speech about you.
Yeah, you ignore what people say about you. So in a bad way, you know, people are like, you don't pay any taxes. You pay more to Playboy bunnies than you pay in taxes. and then you don't care what if people criticize you. You're like, I don't care. Okay, Tangman kid to say. The only thing you achieve is that you are running towards the lower realms. Okay, I'm sorry. You only achieve a cause to be born in the lower realms. Okay. All right. Utpala, who are you assigning to check Seiji?
I am assigning Catherine.
Hey,
Unless
Catherine.
she is. Okay.
She's too polite.
Lamale Chenyin Patan. Sok Chu Ram Chimpa Sok Mi Chepa Ning Re Xingyang Chong Yu Trim Pala Son Pa Namting.
Yeah, you can see my notes. Dimba means to concentrate or to focus. For example, when you're driving a car, I remember Rinpoche used to tell me, dim, you know, like pay attention to the road. So Lama Lechen Yemba, you don't focus on going to lamas for teachings. Rather, and you don't focus on sok here means the morning prayers by the monks when they all get together. It doesn't mean a tantric talk. This just means when the monks get together for prayers in the morning or in the evening. Or chura, what's chura?
Debate.
The debate ground, going to the debate ground, okay? Going to the daily debates is called chura. Okay, it's unusual to see it spelled, by the way. Sok Michepa, you don't engage in those monastic activities. Nyin Reishin means every single day. Yang, you Dim, you focus on going into town to do prayers for sponsors, which you get a lunch and some money. Latsumba, okay. That's what you focus towards. And Utpala, choose someone to read this part. Sorry, to translate this part. To translate it.
To translate this part.
Yeah.
Stanley.
Uh-oh. Each word. I don't want the general idea.
God. 태양계 신기 멤버 툰네 help.
You know Tong from Tonglam.
See? Yeah.
Yeah, and Shenzhen, you know Dak Shenzhen. That's the subject of Seiji's text.
The most repeated word in this text.
Yeah. Self-cherishing.
Yeah, and Len means it's the blame. The blame is that, or the fault. The fault is, okay, so what's making me go to town and try to get money and buy and sell things instead of going to the monastic activities is my, now by the way, Seiji, he didn't say Dak Shenzhen here. And we should check a text, you know, check another.
That would be just cherishing, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. It's very, I don't think I've ever seen it without a subject on it, you know. Check another card. So maybe he's assuming on the dot.
Geshe-la, isn't the day a pronoun saying, once again, it's the fault of that cherishing?
Yeah, that also is, that this kind of behavior, I think, is also, this kind of behavior is also the problem of, but he doesn't say of what cherishing. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if we don't have it by now.
It could be that
Okay,
he's just
Stanley,
abbreviating now.
Stanley, don't try to get out of this, the root text here. Pungche tope gola chemse chem. Dr. Shimi Ningna Maraya. Okay, anybody want to help him?
Kensei Chen means dance on the head.
Yay, go means
Yay.
head.
Oh, gong, okay.
Topa means what?
In
Wrong
this
idea.
case, the misperception. Yeah.
Misunderstand. Okay.
And this pung is a little bit unusual. It's not your Abhidharma pung.
Not hips.
This pung means waste my life, ruin my life, okay?
Oh, okay.
It's a verb that means ruin. It doesn't mean heap here, okay?
Okay.
Dradak, my main enemy is a Shema, the butcher, which is, you know, Mingla, to his heart, I maraya.
I
strike the death, like
Oh.
Sanskrit, murder, like murder, okay? All
Remember.
right, here we go. Oh, let's go back to the root text, Seiji.
Okay, Sawa.
Let's say,
Cranky.
Perfect.
Tarpe Jungo. Let's go back to your root text.
Oh, okay. Tarp mo warnet sok chip warnet song chip chup.
What's that mean?
Lamin.
Tarpe Jungo. The entry point for Nirvana. What's pour mean, you guys? Porwa. He didn't say it in the commentary.
Trash to throw away.
Yeah, you toss away you give up, you junk, you trash the entry point to nirvana, and instead you do Tong and K, Kepsang.
Money.
Business and
Focus on business and making money. People can also mean investments, okay? Lame chura porne. You
Oh.
junk the chura.
debate that your llama told you to do or something.
Yeah. You junk the lama's debate ground and you focus on going to the Tongyu.
Town party.
Yeah, going to town.
Wall Street.
Going to town to do prayers. Okay, good. All right. Here we go. Next verse. Who's checking?
Mr. Sereno.
Ooh. Give him a hard time.
Okay. Shepani Ranki Tsowe Yu Che Sok Long Chemin Nupar Shatne Gendun Ki Chel Duwe Gop Chokpate Dini Te Sangtongo Tongmi Sokla Shintu Chungyen Cheshin Nyepa Shintu Chewa Yinte.
Okay, cool. Yeah. This is a reference to an idea called a sheltawa. Sheltawa, which means the one who looks after the mouth, okay? And it refers to the monk who's in charge of handing out donations from the sponsor. So the sponsor will give the monastery, 100 bags of barley, or I don't know, new shoes for everybody. And then there's a guy who's supposed to distribute it fairly and equally, okay? So you can guess what's coming. And it's a big problem in the monastery, okay? Rangi tsoe yoje sok. Longchumi means you are not able to make enough money at your own occupation. Tsoa means occupation, right? Living. As yoche means stuff. Longchumi nupa means it's not enough for you, okay? And I think it's extremely important in modern times that everyone shares the weight of the expenses of the Dharma, right? Like everyone should work and everyone should make some money and everyone should help equally, right? So anyway, you can't do that or you don't want to do that. You leave it, okay? You leave off making your own living. And then you, due go means is an idiom for the shared possessions of the Sangha. Like the 100 barley bags, 100 bags of barley or something, okay? Which was meant for the Sangha, right? For their lips, okay? And you topa, you steal from it, okay? You steal from I think there's a way though in Dharma communities that people can steal just by not helping. You see what I mean? So, Dini Tengsang Tongo Tomi Sokla Shintu Jungnyen. We had this idea in Xiaoping's text. Do you remember yesterday?
Yes.
Jungnyen Che. It's Nyewa. It's Nyewa.
Close to the situation?
Yeah. Some people are more vulnerable to this kind of problem. Okay, it means vulnerable, or they are likely to have. Jung Nyen Che means big danger of happening. Okay, Nyen means danger. Okay, well, who? Like the guy who hands out the shares. Okay, Tongo Tongmi. This me means the guy who distributes the donations from the sponsors. Okay, Tengsang means nowadays. You guys in the audience who are some of those people in charge of sharing the donations, this is very, you're very vulnerable to this happening. You're too close to this kind of situation. And it's extremely bad karma. Nyepa Shintuche, one of the worst bad karmas you can make. So it's important if someone makes a donation or something, even to our groups, that we treat it very carefully. There was a story there. Oh yeah, my teacher Rinpoche was the Sheltawa of Gyalrong House in Tibet, and it's a big responsibility. And guess who showed up one day in the warehouse to make sure he was doing a good job?
Bonka Rinpoche?
Bonka Rinpoche.
Yeah, Bonka Rinpoche came to thank him for doing it, because they had a big program, and Rinpoche was the person making sure everybody got their share. And there was a beautiful incident with Bonka Rinpoche. Okay, whose turn?
Linda.
Utpa. Okay.
Perna Shenki Gendun La Mikpe Jawarwa
Jabarwa. Jabarwa.
Garbawa
Barwa.
Ang Yepe Nangne Ju Tok Chik Langne Rangi Ki Chena Yang Due Go Chok Mial Wa Chempo Kye Chendro Sa Mial Wa Ma Tok Me Pe Dendrawe Due Goshe Chung Kang Yang Rongwa Chok Padang.
Good. Okay. Perna, Shanki, some other person, meaning a sponsor, okay? Somebody, other person has come to the monastery, and they have offered a single, barwa means a measurement in Tibet, it means a handful, a palmful. So whenever they're handing out barwas, it's important to find the biggest monk you can. Okay.
Oh, no.
So yeah, it's true. So a palmful of tea, loose tea, okay? This mikvah is very different mikvah. This mikvah means intended for, okay? Right? So it doesn't mean to direct your perception or something. It means intended for the Sangha, okay? What the person had in their vision or their mind was that it should be given to the Sangha. And then from among that palmful of loose tea, you take a single grain of tea. You steal a single grain of tea, okay? From the handful, okay? Langne, rangi ki che nayang, and you use it for yourself, okay? Che means you make use of it, okay? Somebody tell me duego.
And it goes, you put it in your mouth?
No, we had it in the last paragraph. It was a long time ago.
Not the share.
Yeah, duego means the
share
property of the Sangha. The property of the Sangha. Duego is if you're gonna study Vinaya, you gotta know this word duego. It means the door of the gathering, but it's an idiom that means the property of the Sangha, okay? Sanghas mats, Sanghas brooms, Sanghas stoves, Sanghas library books, it's called duego. If you steal it, tok, nyawa chemboke, you will be born into the great hell realms, okay? She, drosa nyawa mato mepe, there's no way you're gonna go anywhere except to the hell realms, okay? Double negative, all right? So be careful about stealing any duego. And I don't care how big it is or how small it is, down to a single grain of tea. Be careful not to steal it, okay? Don't steal it. I tried to find this quotation. It's obviously verse, okay? Duego tonyawa chemborke, okay? And I couldn't find any such verse It's probably from some kind of verse, the Vinaya summary, which is called a dome. Here's a Tangyur text that's similar. And here it is here. Gelon namla jimba longche dang. Young Sir Chipan Dang Nor Yoje Toxam Dak Chudam Shen Chudajuna De Chiwe Duna Name Pisemjanyawa Chimbaki. That person who steals from the articles meant for the Sangha will be born into the lowest hell realm. Okay. So I would quote that one. Sometimes an author will make a line of verse from a prose text to use in their commentary. Okay. Then it's difficult to find. All right. Who's next?
Jihang.
These 2 lines. Oh, sorry, one line.
Jihang.
Yay.
Shin Duhan ki se norsok la longche minupar shenki norku wa tang chokpa sokche pat se.
Yeah. Okay. So, you're not willing to work to make your own money or food, and then you end up taking it from other people. Shengi norkuwa. You steal from other people and you take away their resources. Okay, this is, who's gonna suffer through these lines? Let's skip it. Okay, dancing on the head, etc. Oh, let's go back to the root text, Seiji. See if we can understand it now. Please read it and then we'll interpret it.
Rangi tsoa shangnen tu ko trok rangi kash se shakne shen la ku.
Yeah, rangi tsoa shak. This shak means you drop it, you leave it. Okay, it means you don't try to make your own living. Tsoa. And you end up taking resources from a Dharma community to go talk. Rangi kase shagne, you don't you give up trying to make your own food, and you steal it from others. Okay. All right.
In this part of the text, does it refer particularly of the Sangha resources or just communal resources in general?
He's talking to monks. But when you teach it in the world, in the modern world, which is what Mixed Nuts is all about, I think you could take it to a larger context. I would take it even to taking welfare when you're too lazy to work. I'm sorry to sound like a Republican, but I feel like it's a problem nowadays. I feel like a lot of people do that, and it's not fair to the other people who are working, and they also have families to support and stuff like that. Okay. We're gonna skip the root text and come back to it.
Okay.
And who's checking Venerable Upala?
Momo.
Yay, Momo. I like Momo.
Shepani, ngung she soknam pardak pa chuwa la yun ring por kom chup che gurkian. Le lo chik tang la wa chik sam la yang kom chup minupe gom tren shintu chunwatang.
Good. Okay, nice. Shepani, the verse says, if you want to develop a really pure form of clairvoyance, like to see the future or read other people's minds, you're going to have to work at it. Drupche, good. Drupche, good. You're going to have to work at it in your meditation practice. Yun Ringbo, what's that mean, you guys?
For a long time.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time. You're going to have to devote yourself to your practice for quite a while. But some people are gom sen chung. Gom sen chung. Sen means ability to do something hard and not break it. Sen means like,
Discipline?
yeah, discipline or endurance, kind of, okay. The ability to do something challenging for an extended period of time is called sen. And oftentimes it's related to supa.
Related to
Okay.
what, Kashla?
To patience, supa.
Okay.
Meaning patience of not getting frustrated when you have to do a hard job, like try to get contractors for the Black Hole Cafe at 6 o'clock in the morning, etc. Okay.
The Black Hole Cafe.
Okay. So Shindu Chungwa means, you know, some people just don't have the persistence to do that meditation. They're unable to gom duk minu. They're unable to succeed at their meditation, which could take you a year or a month, but the person's just not willing to put in the time. They want to get this result in a few days or something, and they don't have the persistence to. They have little persistence to meditate. Okay. Okay. Who's next, Venerable Upala?
Tang Tang.
Yay, Tang Tang.
Deta yinkyang shenmo kochi ngoshe ngon dukha war chete sungna sokla pam.
Okay, good. There's a lot of colloquial expressions here. Good to learn. If you know, if your name's Word. Okay. Deta yinkyang. Although that's the case, and you don't have the persistence that it takes to a year or a month. Shen Gokor. What's Gokor? You guys know?
Is he?
What'd you say?
You deceive others?
Oh, it's a good guess. Yeah, Chinzom, $20. That's a $20 answer for a $0 question. Okay, Ellie, you got that? Hello?
Yeah. Could you repeat what she said though? Because I didn't even.
Yeah, she said you deceive other people. So Gokor Tang, the colloquial expression is Gokor Tang. It means to spin the other person's head. So Word was correct, but it means to deceive somebody. Okay, it means to lie to somebody. Okay, misrepresent yourself is called Gokor Tang. Okay, cheer means in order to deceive other people. Dokawa is also a very common colloquial expression. It means to put on the appearance of. Okay, dokawa. Then it can go after any verb or any noun. Okay, so I don't know. Sendokawa means the kid was pretending to eat his vegetables, but he didn't. Okay, so dokawa is a very useful idiom for putting on the appearance of. Okay, so what did he put on the appearance of here in order to deceive others?
He's
Clairvoyance.
practicing.
Having very sharp clairvoyance.
Yeah, Noah means like very, very sharp and deep clairvoyance. He said, you know, I can tell your future in 16 years, you will eat a meal. Something like that, okay. You see this kind of stuff, I'm sorry, but you see it. This is pretty much of course, 99% of monks are really, really cool. But you see this kind of people, okay? But I have to say, the vast majority of monks are very cool, okay? Jun not so laba means, this lab means to say, to talk. And you don't see it in scripture very often. You know, you see sung or she or ser. So Zun means what?
Lie.
Yeah, you tell all kinds of lies. Not so means you tell all kinds of lies. You misrepresent yourself even though you don't have the persistence that it takes to develop real clairvoyance. Okay. All right. Who's next, Venerable Upala?
Isabel.
Okay, Isabel.
Yes. Isabel.
Okay. Yang na du soki warche ki wangle warshe ki wangle lon parshe ki wangle lola nyamnang ki shagona chungwe chungse shen la she kangtuk shepa namting.
Okay, it's kind of cute. Yangna, or else another option is possible. Okay, that's what Yangna means. Du soki parcheki wangne. This is a reference to cases where demons show you visions. You have visions, but they are granted to you by demons, okay, who are trying to mislead you. Okay, so this is a tough subject, you know. It's apparently, it's not, apparently it's pretty common that when you have a vision, it might have been given by a negative influence, okay, by some kind of spirit or something. Okay, so if you have this parcheki wangne means if demons are involved and they're trying to give you a nyam nang, means a vision. Okay, nyam here means experience, a religious experience. And nang means like an appearance. Okay, so you know they show you some kind of a vision. Okay, chargo means you know you get, char means it comes into your mind. Not so chung means you get all kinds of visions. You know, but actually it's demons, or you just had too many French fries or something, okay? and you see strange things, okay? So it's tradition to check with your lama or think carefully about something you saw, because it might be unimportant, or it might be even a distraction created by a demon, okay? But Jungte means however many happen to you, okay? That's the meaning of say here. You run out and bother other people with your supposed vision, okay? Kangtuk Che means you run around to other people and say, oh, I saw this blue light and it struck my little finger and something came out of my nose, and you know, and you just bother other people with your little visions, okay? All right. Who's next?
Janice.
Detarche minamla ma dharma rakshita yangshin tu ngotsar warngyurne ema she sungpa yin sung.
Okay. Detarche minamla, towards people who act like that, the Lama here in this text, which is Dharma Rakshita, okay? He's a Ngotsar, Nick, Yaten, Ngotsar.
Weird, amazing.
Yeah, he's like, wow, those people are unbelievable. So he says, Emma. Emma means wow. You know, I can't believe there's so many people like this. Wow. Okay, Emma. Okay, now why are there two sungs here?
Because he's quoting the Lama quoting Dharma Rakshita.
Yeah, our author, our transcriber is quoting the teacher, Chichen Tempa Rabge, quoting Dharma Rakshita. Okay, our Lama said, Dharma Rakshita said, wow. Okay, our Lama said, Dharma Rakshita said, wow. Okay, all right. And that's part of the root text. Okay. Who's next?
Who's next is Ola.
Dile churne rangchak riwo geluk pa namkini mongshe yökyan yöpatar tane michewar takpa soklang mo shikne parche good patang.
Okay, cool. Nick is a specialist on dile churne.
Extensions or elaborations on that.
Yeah, which means at this point, our Lama went on a little digression. At this point in his teaching, the Lama said, you know what, that reminds me of something else. And that's called deleter, okay? Us Riwo Gelukpa for $30.
This mountain galooks.
But what's the full form, Nick? There's a single word missing here. I'll give you a clue. It's someone who runs around with sheep.
With what? Sheep? Oh.
Joke.
Forget it. I don't think anyone deserves this money. Drok Riwoche. Say Drok Riwoche.
Drok Riwoche. I think that's what word said.
That's the mountain that Tsongkhapa founded Ganten Monastery on. Okay?
True.
So us mountain Galukpas, Munshe Yekyang.
Even if we do have
if you
clairvoyance.
Confluence. Even if you do have clairvoyance, you guys are gonna give me a day off Sunday, right? You promise?
Saturday, actually, we hope. Friday?
You should never, ever indicate to anybody that you haven't, okay? Tene miche means never, ever. Yepatar means show someone that you do have it, okay? You should never act as if you had it, okay? It's a tradition not to talk about it, okay? Michepar. Tapa soklang, moshik ngeparche gupa. So tapa soklang, even if someone asks you to do a prediction, this means an examination into the future. What famous book is one of the 7 books that Adam is working on? Dewa Tapa, good. An examination of relationships. Hey, Adam, I'll give you $50 for the Sanskrit.
It's Sambandha Parikshavarti.
Oh my God, you are disgusting. Nice. How much did I say?
$50.
$50?
50.
Oh my God. Okay. Even though these, okay. It's probably Pariksha, but I'll give you Verti. Okay. Okay. Huh?
That's what I said, Parikshavarti.
Oh, I'm sorry. You did both. You covered it. All right. Tapa Soklang, Moshe Ngeparche Gupa. This is weird. He says, if someone asks you for a prediction about their life, you should go through the motions of doing a mo. Okay, you should definitely pretend you don't know and do a mo. Okay, so that's a little unusual advice. Okay, don't close your eyes and say, I know what's going to happen to you, because you're not supposed to show that you have this ability. So say, well, hey, I don't know, let's do a mo, and make sure the mo comes out right.
So it's worse to show that you've got clairvoyance than it is to deceive someone?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, it's to protect their mind, because they'll say you don't have it when you do have it, and then they get bad karma. Okay, that's extremely bad karma to say someone didn't have a vision when they did have a vision. Okay. All right.
And then you're leaving the wrong impression in their mind, which is lying.
That's true too. I don't know. Maybe it's a lesser. Let's not go there. Okay. Who's next?
Tim.
Okay, Tim. Be tough, Tim. You guys are so cooperative.
Termaste Ningmatang Sakyapa Sokshenki Luklang Nyamsang Ngachi Sokchunse Tamche Shemi Choksu Tang.
Good job, Seiji.
Good. Okay. At least we know Tim's awake. Okay. There must say, not only that, okay, there must say, not only that, even in the system of the Nyingmas, and even in the system of the Sakyapas, okay, and by the way, here you see Sakya, which means pale earth, because the earth below their main monastery is pale dirt, okay? So other systems, other traditions, like the Nyingma and the Sakya, even in those traditions, La'ang, even in those traditions, Nyam Nang Nga Chi, visions, Nyam Nang, that you might have had at some point, you know, earlier or later in your life, okay, Nga Chi. So Chungse, if you do have them, the total amount, Se means, Jungse means whatever number you've had, all of them you shouldn't talk about, okay? Shemi chok, you are not allowed to talk about it. So what's sul mean in a text like this?
That's how it is?
No.
Oh, yeah.
In that case,
He went on like that. The teacher
Yeah,
went on
exactly,
like
exactly. Yeah. Sul in a text which is a report of a public teaching, Sul means he talked about how, okay? He talked about how even in those traditions, you're not supposed to talk about whatever number of visions you might have had at different points in your life, okay? All right. Who's up?
Venerable Gyaltse.
Okay.
Teng sang zeta lami nam la gashik teng kashik mi tempa chungwe tse shua po kie impar lengyang.
Okay. Nowadays, Data love me means people who talk about visions or predictions, okay? This love means talk about. Some of them come out true, gashik den. Gashik mi den. Some of those predictions don't come out true. And when that happens, Jungwei would say, they talk about Leng, how it depends on who asked for the prediction. Okay, so the Lama, the Lama who made the prediction, if it comes out, they'll say, I made a good prediction. If it doesn't come out, they'll say, you weren't pure enough when you asked for the prediction. Okay. Okay. K means the quality of the person who asked for the prediction. Shuapo. Okay. Leng means all kinds of talk. Leng means they'll make all kinds of talk about, oh, you know, of course the prediction didn't work out. The guy who asked for it is impure. Okay. All right. Who's next?
Venerable Chinzum.
Ngung she nampar dakpa shik yina ngepar tempa shatak tempa shatak le shua pola mitos su mitusu tompa tukje chenki ngetang mekye lungtempe lokyu tang che tekatsel.
Okay, good. Number tapa yina. If your clairvoyance is the real thing, okay, if you have really good clairvoyance, definitely ngepar, demba shadak, everything you say will come true. All your predictions will come true. And it doesn't depend, on the shuapo. What's shuapo?
The person who asked about it.
Yeah, the person who asked for the prediction. What's sul mean here? How far back can you guys remember?
You went on like that.
Yeah, the teachers talked about how, look, if you're a good predictor, it doesn't, everything you say will come out true. It doesn't depend on come on. It doesn't depend on who asked the question. I can give you an example. Our Tumba, the teacher, Lord Buddha, the Tukche Chen key of the one who has great karuna, I'm sorry, the one who possesses karuna. Katzel has described has described this fact. Okay, Katzel means Lord Buddha has described this fact with a story. Logyu means a story of the prediction about the Nathan means elder. Okay, elder monk called Meike. Okay, Meike is, what's his name?
Fireborn?
It's a Jyotishka here, okay? Jyotishka. Yeah, fireborn, born from the fire. And you're so lucky, Seiji, I went and got you the story.
Oh, yay.
It's a long story. And we're not gonna read it. It's too long. It need to be longer than most of your text. I read it. Oh, by the way, the reason I gave you the whole story is if you guys want to have some fun, this story is found in a collection of stories put together by a saint called Kushemendra, which is Lord of the Good. And it's what do you call it? Interlaced Sanskrit and Tibetan.
Oh.
In the Tengyur. Okay. So like here's Garbe, which means womb. And here's womb, meow. Ne means to stay, stita means to stay. You see what I mean? And if you're learning Sanskrit, this text is a great one to learn it from. Although you'll have to put up with all the mistakes in the Sanskrit because the Tibetans, the carvers especially, didn't know Sanskrit. Okay. Okay, cool. So I just gave you the whole thing in case somebody wants to, here's Bimbisara, which is Sukchen Nyingbo, famous king who gave the wheel of life to Udayana. And, so anyway, let's tell you the story essence. And I put a few things in here, a few references to it. So some householder wanted to have a baby. His wife got pregnant. And he asked Lord Buddha for a prediction. And Lord Buddha said, this baby is going to be awesome. This baby will grow up to be a great king and a great saint. And then Lord Buddha went back home. And then one of these bad guy teachers came, non-Buddhist teacher, and he was jealous that Lord Buddha had gotten to make the prediction. So he made an opposite prediction. He said, this kid is born. He's gonna ruin your family. Okay, and you should try to abort it, So the husband gave poison to his wife, and the kid survived and the wife survived. And then he got really upset and he like jumped on her stomach or something and killed the wife. The wife died. And so they went to burn the corpse in a traditional fire. And Buddha said, all to all his followers, come on, you got to see this. This is going to be something. And they all went to the funeral and they burned the corpse of the wife. Guess what happened?
He was born from fire.
Yeah, his name is born from fire. Jyoti means a bright flame. It also refers to stars. So Jyotishkara can also mean astrologer, the one who makes the star charts. But here it's the one who's made by fire, born from fire. And the mother's body opened up and the kid slid down a ramp, perfectly healthy. And everyone was afraid to go run to the fire to grab the kid. And Buddha turned to one guy and said, if you trust me, run into the fire and get the kid. And the guy ran into the fire, and suddenly the fire became, quote, as cool as sandalwood breeze. And he grabbed the kid. And some king was there. And he said, oh, this kid's amazing. And he adopted the kid. And later the kid gave up the palace and became a
monk.
Buddhist monk sage. Yay.
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 And we're over time.
Ah, come on. I want to tell the whole story.
Oh, is there more?
No, that is the whole story. But if you're interested, by the way, this is poetry. And if you're interested, you want to study some Sanskrit, this is cool. By the way, my friend, a close friend who was in Sedona until recently, he asked me, can you teach me Sanskrit? I'm like, yeah, if you got 20 years, I can teach you Sanskrit. And he gave me some traditional Sanskrit books from the Pingyur. And just to tell you, it's the last place you want to learn Sanskrit from. Because, no, I tried. I input lots of text. They're all corrupt. They're all wrong. I mean, they were probably good in their day, but they're all wrong. They're all messed up. And there's a grammar called Whitney's grammar, Whitney's Sanskrit grammar, Dwight Whitney from Yale University, 18 something. It's the greatest book for learning Sanskrit. So don't bother with all these traditional books, which are in the Tengyur. Don't waste your time. And this text here will also be super corrupt. But it's kind of fun to look through it and try to guess which word connects to which word. It's similar to
texting.
It's similar to the mixed nuts text where we have the Tibetan with the English. You see? It's the same idea. The guy who carved it was trying to produce a bilingual text so people could study it, but it didn't work out. Okay.
All right.
And then Western scholars waste their time. They waste 10 years of their time trying to fix the Sanskrit. Okay. All right.
Geshe-la.
Nice, thank you.
Stashi Puki Ira Blinking Gimpadi Sanye Shindu Mikte Waki Yoku Namdakshila Chupasho Nidam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami Yewadi Yewok Sunam Yeshe Sok Sokshin Sunam Yeshe Lejunwe Dampa Kunito Parsho.
Oh, by the way, the husband was a cruel, stupid man. You see what I mean? And did that affect the prediction?
Oh, no.
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 He still got the right prediction from the Buddha. That's the point. That's the point of the story. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Take a break.
Thanks, Geshe-la.
When do we come back, Nick?
Well, technically in like 2 minutes, but maybe
let's say
4 minutes or something.
You want to say 8 minutes?
Okay.
7, 6, or 8.
We can do that. 8:08.
We can go over a little bit. I don't mind if you guys don't mind.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So come back at 8:10 then.
Thank you.
We'll come back at 8:10 and we'll go a little bit over. Okay.